Promiscuity ruins men's lives as well. And the last point is going to be quite disturbing. So, whether they call them bad boys, pretty boys, get the girls, who would want to be labeled that as a man? Don't you want to be a man, a masculine husband, and a guardian of the feminine? Please don't distract this discussion by talking about me or that I'm an incel or I don't have a wife, so I can't talk on this. Let's focus on the subject of preparing for marriage, just like I'm doing, just like why wouldn't you want to be doing, preparing for your future wife and how to be a husband. Now, first of all, number one, why would men want to be around they're somewhat reprobate, somewhat lost women? Like they're uncovered, figuratively speaking, even literally. They don't have fathers, so you can't ask their father, oh, is this for their woman's hand in marriage? And that's because of the society that you're creating. So even the quote-unquote alpha males, they can't get a pure woman. And why would you want to be around a woman who does not want to surrender to you except for the bedroom? Because wouldn't you want a woman to trust you to lead her instead of just wanting you for intimacy? Number three, why would you want a woman to be having an addictive attraction to you? It's going to damage your future marriage because you'll have a woman or several chasing you. The reality is being around women and doing this chasing behavior and all this flirtations and seductions and romance games is actually emasculating because it's feminine to do all of that. That's point number 4. And even wanting women to chase you, that's emasculating because, you're supposed to chase the woman. When women chase you, why would you want them? They're behaving in a masculine way. Why would you want that type of woman? Now, also, if you're a man and you're primarily using your body and privates to seduce women, that's actually feminine. But of course, you and your wife should share a strong physical attraction. But to feel masculine, you're going to have to make the physical aspect more about her. Because life is supposed to be about a woman and her femininity and her flower and protecting her and not a man, point number 5, hoping a woman will provide for her. This is never a functional thing. Point number 6, you may remember when you were younger and some women would say that you were handsome. The reason that's embarrassing is because men pride themselves on their ability to earn and protect. And women pride themselves and create. And women pride themselves on their appearance. Now, number 7. To reiterate, it doesn't feel good to have a woman initiate. And it may feel silly at first, but really think about that. And when a man keeps shutting down his masculine, I've seen this happen, and he's messing with random women. Point number 8, it becomes this feminine energy of seeking pleasure, being in the flirtatious feminine, and the woman relating to you as if you're like a woman except with a man's body. But men can become feminine, and they may even go farther than that. They may even become interested in other types of intimacy, non-standard. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm saying, why would you want to do behaviors that influence who you are? Like, I would be glad to be a member of the LGBT if that's how I was born, and I could own that, and I could value marriage just like I expect anyone from the straight community to value marriage. Now, these guys are supposed to be the alpha guys, right? They're supposed to be attractive and popular, or have money, maybe been with numerous women. But like I said, point number 8, they end up with more masculine women because they've just spent too much time pretending to be feminine, which becomes a habit. Number 9, they become addicts, addicted to a game of pretending, and that they can't really connect to one woman, which is the masculine focus, the ability to focus on one thing. These people have addictive personalities. They probably have other addictions. Even if it seems innocent, like scrolling on a phone, all of that it's a distraction from real life, the reality that men should want to cultivate their masculine and women should want to find men who allow them to cultivate their feminine. And by the way, if you can't find one woman attractive enough, point number 9, then you must not be a hetero virile man. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm trying to bring awareness to this topic, and the reality is, guys, point 10 is if these guys were alpha, they should be able to have married a more attractive and feminine woman. And what ends up happening, I've noticed, is they end up being with a more masculine and less attractive woman. And I know it sounds politically incorrect, but we need to face honesty. And point number 11 is it creates a whole world of distrust. You might not think it affects you, but say there's different people in the community with different influence or power, government. They're going to want to play their own play and maybe take their aggression out on promiscuous men and compete with them as well. And then it creates this whole society that's battling against each other, and there's ongoing tension. And when you could have had, say, better prices on goods and services, they're charging more. It's a cycle of destruction. So point 12 is, even if you think you benefited from this whole culture of loose, vulnerable women, like, even if you had children, and by the way, you can't have healthy oriented children if you're not the present father. But even if and those children that are single moms, you might think you have a lot, but they're all going to suffer, and they won't do as well in life. And it's dangerous for single moms. It's actually hard for them to get remarried to a legitimate man, and then that man will have to take point number 13. If that man is going to marry her, then she'll have to take his name, and the kids might have to take his name, because how is he supposed to have authority over them if they don't have their last name or some sense of authority over the household? Like, it's whole convoluted, and your children are vulnerable. And like I was saying, even your children, not all of them will be these alpha characters and popular, so they're going to suffer from the culture of promiscuity that you're promoting. Obviously, any woman in your life will. Now, here's my final point, and to me it's pretty disturbing. It's that the reality is, when this culture is promoted, there's one woman who seems to look the other way, and that is often the mothers in the family. And what happens is, if the guy is promiscuous or having a wayward life, she still tries to stand by him